One is ka pe wapanoma Yahweh ha se pak nikamoa
So we're all here because we are provincial specialists in environmental education. Whether we see ourselves that way or not, we've all applied to be here, and we all do outdoor environmental place-based education in our classrooms every day.
So we're here at the Nipika Mountain Resort in the East Kootenays, working with leadership teams of 2 to 6 teachers from all of the districts across the Columbia Basin, and they are here to organize as local chapters of EEPSA, and then to go back to their own districts and host workshops and create resources and communicate with all the other members in their local, and be local leaders in environmental education and in the integration of environmental education, place-based learning in the renewed curriculum.
That's the pro D I want to take, because I have 30 kids, I'm taking them outside all the time. First aid is a natural thing to want.
Say, well, come and watch me.
We made some ready-made resources that are shrunk.
The goal was fairly simple. It was for teams of teachers to come together and to create a local chapter of EEPSA, which is the Environmental Education Provincial Specialist Association. And what was really amazing about it is that there was focused time to just do all those things that would take such effort if it was sort of on the side of their desks or at the end of their normal working days. So time was carved out to have their first meeting and learn exactly how they're supposed to take their notes and submit them, and their communications with the BCTF, and just sort of all of those nuts and bolts around how a local chapter works. We have the risk management liability piece, and it sounds like we have kind of a curricular planning for regular out of the school learning with inquiry and place-based and action-based learning.
Just as much as relationships are important in the classroom, relationships amongst teachers are really important. Yeah. And when we're in our classrooms, we don't have that opportunity. Mm-hmm. This coming here has allowed the relationships to form. Yeah.
For sure. And that wouldn't happen in 20 minutes after school.
No.
Just while one person from your group is going to share with us your next action.
So instead of sort of creating something new or making people feel like, oh no, I need to do something else now as well, or what is going on here, why didn't I know? It's sort of just a way of welcoming people in, connecting people, starting that dialogue, starting those conversations, and moving forward from there.
We've discovered throughout this weekend that some barriers or bridges that we have, SD8 is facing, or SD51 is facing. So instead of everyone having to reinvent the wheel, we can now share resources. We could do that before as well, but now it's easier to share ideas and concepts, and we found this solution here to this challenge. You guys can modify it a little bit, see how it works for you in your district. So I think it's great now to have come together, have this sort of concentrated conversation, but then also leave with this umbrella organization that helps channel information down from other places in the province, but also provides a platform for us to exchange ideas between districts.
I was using the example. I try to empower the students in terms of where we're going to go and why would we go to a place. What's the draw there? What can we gather from it? Why is it a rich place to visit?
Being able to be here and hear the ideas that other people have and the questions that they have and the struggles that they work through is so empowering. Mm-hmm. I feel like we can work together so much to build a stronger group for everyone's LFAs. Mm-hmm. All of the local chapters will be stronger because we work together to figure out what the best way is for that to look.
In another building in the community, and then we usually link that with some walking to somewhere else in the community. And sometimes it's outside and sometimes it's inside, so I could chat with you about that.
Yeah, being all together makes us feel like we're not alone.
That's right, yeah.
That we together can ask questions and move forward, and the problems that we may have, we can ask. Like,
we've never actually spent any time together at all. I've never met these guys before in my life. But the thing about being a member of the EEPSA family is we have such a common bond that the connection is absolutely instant. You make these what seem like lifelong relationships in a fraction of time because we share such a commonality.
Yeah, I think that as teachers we are this odd mix of incredibly social because we're with kids all the time, talking to them, managing their emotions, engaging with them socially. But a lot of us are really isolated. We close our doors and we don't talk to our colleagues, or we don't certainly talk to the people the next school over or the next district over or across the province. And so by organizing as a local chapter, these teachers are choosing to create a professional community, an intentional professional community that will allow them to talk to each other and find their tribe.
Here, this gives an opportunity for us to tap into a wealth of resources from people across, the Columbia Basin.
Yeah. And again, going back to, there are some of these teachers who have done things like building art kits with their students at the beginning of the year, so when they get out there, anything's possible.
And I think we've gained so much inspiration, but also just ideas and kind of that feedback of, what's happening in other districts? What do other districts have in place for policies for that? Or what are other teachers doing in different ways that we don't necessarily get just being in our own little district and our own little world within our own little district.
There's a lot of passion here. It's really amazing.
It is.
I'm re-inspired actually by spending a few days here. And there's, I hadn't really been to a conference before where there's time built in to practice what you preach.
Yeah.
Be out there with 3 guys that I just met and to go for a 2-hour mountain bike ride and talk shop, but while you're getting exercise
and doing what you're talking about.
Doing what you're talking about instead of talking about outdoor education inside. It's fantastic.
Yeah.